Ever since I remember, I always liked to play sports with the boys. I was always hanging out with the boys. Basketball was always my favorite.
I come from a small town. They had a basketball team, but they didn't have many players. One of my best friend's mom was the head coach. They needed people to join them, and so I did.
Naama Shafir and Inma Zanoguera were both born and raised outside of the U.S., but both of them made their way into the States to obtain an education and continue playing basketball, now at the collegiate level.
Coach Kolb contacted me and told me that they're interested. That's kind of how I heard about Toledo. Never heard about this place before, so I didn't really know what to expect.
The thing that I've always appreciated about her is, here's a player that we all watched 2 years ago score 40 against USC, and she would have been just as happy scoring 2 and having 20 assists. I mean, the kid doesn't care, she just wants to win.
When we talked to some other schools before we were talking to Toledo, I was, the first thing that I always said was, there's something that I have to follow because of my religion. If it's the food or the times that I'm not allowed to practice. And some other schools were like, oh, we need to look, we need to see if we can work it out. But as soon as we talked to Coach Kolb, she was like, oh, we'll figure it out, we'll find a way. And that made me really happy.
I think it was towards my junior year in high school, I first heard about Toledo. And actually my decision to come here, I didn't take it until school already started here, I think. It was pretty crazy. All the paperwork we had to do within 10 days, which is crazy because being an international student and NCAA basketball player, there's a lot, but we made it happen. The only thing at first was maybe language skills that I was struggling with, and I kind of am still nowadays.
Inma knew pretty good English when she came. I had no idea. Were there. Yeah, because but I had no idea. People were talking to me, and I was like, yeah, but I had no idea what they were saying. I mean, even still now, sometimes I'll ask a question and somebody will answer something completely different because they didn't understand the question, and I'm now just gonna go with that. Be like, oh, okay, so it was really hard at the beginning.
I want to say a lot of stuff, and sometimes when you don't know how, it's kind of frustrating. Or sometimes I want to tell a long story, and I'm like, well, you know what? Never mind. I really don't want to think so much right now.
I feel you. It was a lot easier on the basketball court because we use a lot of same terms at home when it comes to basketball.
On the basketball court, it wasn't as much as a language problem, but basketball is very different. I was used to doing a lot of stuff that's right opposite of what I'm, still learning to do right now. But I mean, I try to be coachable and listen to what Coach has to say.
Coach Kolb, she cares about us. She wants us to do well. She wants the team to do well on the court and off the court. School, basketball, everything, future, we try to give her back by working hard and do what she asks us to do.
Yeah, and as long as you work hard in practice and always give everything you have, you're never going to have any problems with her. Your relationship can be perfectly fine.
Inma,
you start.
Okay, well, since Inma came, I knew we'll have a lot to talk about just because we're both not from here. It's funny because sometimes, some of our teammates will do something crazy or something stupid.
And we just kind of look at each other like, okay, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's not what people do outside of America, but we're just gonna go.
So yeah, it's nice to have somebody like Inma. Okay, I'm not the crazy one. They are crazy.
There's some stuff that, keeps us close together, like when people go home or whatever. Whatever international problems we might have. If it's paperwork, which I've had, she's helped me with, or if it's just like a little advice, she's gonna be the one that I go to. We don't really go anywhere.
We eat, we cook together.
We? I cook, we eat. That's how it works.
No, that's before that, the year before I cooked, and you don't remember. She doesn't.
Your mom
cooked. No. When? She doesn't remember.
Yeah, I guess.
But you won't be surprised because Inma forgets a lot.
You don't need to say that on camera.
But it's true.
But it is true.
Naama is in her final season at the University of Toledo, achieving much, including having the university's all-time career high of assists with 667 assists, and will continue to raise the bar even higher with 8 games left in this season. Inma is a sophomore and has continued to excel on the court since her freshman season. She has proven herself to be a major threat both offensively and defensively. Both Naama and Inma together have become major contributors to the Toledo women's basketball program.